Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's the cooking nurse once again, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing what really takes place or what really happens immediately of had your baby or transitioning from labor into the fourth trimester, that is postpartum or puerperium, whatever you want to call it. But immediately after having a child, what do you expect? What happens? I wrote most of the points down here so that I go in order and you guys can follow through. However, if you haven't watched my previous videos, I am a professional nurse. I love cooking. I post most of the cooking videos down below, and if you've not watched most of them, please go back and watch them. Okay, so yeah, and subscribe if you haven't subscribed. Turn on your notification bell so that anytime or every day or every time I post a new video, you're one of the first people to get notified and you watch them first. Give this video a thumbs up and leave me a comment on what you think or what your experience was. Most of the things I'm going to be sharing in this video is what happened to me, what my experience was, and a few of the relatable stories that I have heard of. Okay, so getting straight into the video, I already told you guys from my labor story about tears and cuts, episiotomies and everything. So immediately the baby is born like this, you get those ones. If you're one of the lucky ones, you get a first degree, which is just a scratch on the skin, and those ones can heal on their own. So usually they don't get stitched up, but nonetheless they are also painful in their healing process. So if you were stitched up like I was, you have those tears, you have those stitches down there, and that is a fresh wound. So immediately you have to deal with that. You have to deal with the pain and the stitches, the uncomfortability down there. So of course with them comes pain, because another thing is the uterus is still contracting and retracting to expel the remaining blood inside. So there's still some pain, there's still some little bit of contractions, not so bad, not so much, but yeah, there's still some of that. Then there's bleeding. So of course if the uterus is contracting and retracting, then it's pushing down blood, it's pushing down stuff, and that can also be uncomfortable. And you also have to be so vigilant. You have to monitor how much blood you lose so that you keep your midwife or your doctor or your gynecologist, whoever, in check. And they have to monitor that, because if it's too much, then it can lead to death. You can bleed to death if you do not monitor it, or if you just keep on saying, it's normal, it's gonna be okay, it's gonna be okay. I'm talking those people whose hospitals don't really be there on your case all the time. Okay, then we have number 4, passing urine. The first pee, man, it can be a little bit burning, it can be a little bit uncomfortable, and really too much if you're not prepared. So it happened to me this time around that immediately I came back, I did not get to have painkillers. These guys, I gave birth before the ward rounds, so they did not mind about giving me painkillers immediately. Either I looked strong, or that is how they do it down here in the ghetto. But yeah, they delayed to give me the painkillers. They brought them about 2-3 hours later on, because I gave birth at around 7, and they brought me the painkillers around 10 in the evening. So you may need painkillers so that you do not feel a lot of that is going down there. Now another thing is you must keep the place clean and dry somehow. Clean and dry, super clean and dry. So the fancy mothers would be able to buy perineal bottles, or those bottles that help you spray, and then they would have perineal sprays that help soothe the area, and all those fancy things, the pads that are iced and everything so fancy. But if you're from downtown like I am, then you may need some cotton, extra cotton from the one you got in your mama kitty, and then you will need some warm water, and you're gonna put your cotton in there. This is what I did, and it has worked for me 2 times. So I put my cotton in the water and soak it, then clean myself gently. You cannot use tissue, you cannot use dry tissue, no. Maybe you can use those unmedicated wet wipes that are flushable, but you cannot use tissue. If you don't have those ones, then use cotton. It is much easier, and a little bit much safer, because also what I realized is it gave me the ability or the opportunity to actually dress my wound every time I had to pee. That is so many times in a day, because of course, yeah, it's like you're still pregnant, the uterus is still big, so the bladder tends to fill up and you have to empty all the time. Number two, going in the toilet, having a bowel movement is really hard. Sometimes it can be so hard that you may feel like you're busting or you're pushing another child. So most times what happens is you will be advised to get stool softeners. What I did, I got suppositories, I got rectodiclofenac. This both helped with the stool softening and pain killing. So I was sorted, killing two birds with one stone. I kill the pain and I get my stool softened, so I just go and it's much easier for me. For both experiences, those have really helped. I don't have to swallow and then swallow stool softeners and all that. No, just use one and it's good because it's glycerin. When it goes in there, it melts, and so it's easier for stool to just calm down. Number 8 is, when you immediately give birth, you put your child on your breast, on your boob. That is, if you've given birth normally, it's like it should take you about 1 hour, the first hour of their life, to suck on your boob and bonding and everything. If you had a CS, then maybe 2 hours there. So immediately your child comes here, they are going to start breastfeeding. It's the ghetto. Most times you'll get your breasts not having milk in those hours, in the first days even. Some people even take up to 3 days, some people even take up to how many days, some people never even get the milk. So this results into every time you get your baby to latch, you get cracked. The nipples are so dry, you don't have the milk they are looking for. They keep on suckling, and it gets too intense for the nipples, so they crack. And this is one of the most painful situations. Cracked nipples are really painful. If you can afford a nipple cream, please buy that one so that it can help you. There's no reward in pain, There's no reward for pain. Yeah, if you can avoid pain at all costs, please do. But for my friends who cannot avoid pain, we don't have an option. You just have to do it naturally. Let it flow. Okay? Keep a wet towel with you, a warm towel, a small towel, those small wash towels for babies. You just keep on dressing your boobs. Also, you keep them moist before you give the baby to feed. But if you can afford or get a nipple cream, please get it, because it can be painful. When the baby starts latching, you just want to throw it away. Okay, that is how bad it is. So get that one. And yeah, still on the breasts, there's what happens when there's too much milk. For my case, when my baby was born like this, she started latching immediately. This child will have to eat. She started latching immediately and she was suckling, and in the next 12 hours, I think by morning, I had milk. Now by the time we got home, my boobs were this big. Like how you had a boob job and those huge implants. Yeah, that's how I looked. So those ones are painful because there's a lot of milk that this small child cannot take. For information, the baby's stomach is just this tiny, just like a walnut big. So imagine 2 full tanks of milk, and this baby cannot suckle all that milk and drink it. So the boobs tend to be too tense and tender and painful. And sometimes they say just try to pump this milk, but for me it was so hard. I think the colostrum was so thick, it could not come out even when I tried to express it, and it started leaking on its own. So one thing, you're gonna need nursing bras and breast pads. I'd already told you in my hospital bag, you need breast pads, or else you're gonna soak with milk, and that breast milk stinks, it smells. So you don't want to be the one washing clothes every other 2 minutes or changing clothes every other 2 minutes. Get yourself a bra and some pads. If you cannot afford breast pads, you please get small towels that are washable. You get a few pairs, so that when this one soaks up, put it in the basin, soak for a little while, wash, hang, and meanwhile be using the other ones. You keep on alternating. You don't have to wait for the wet ones, because if then you put the wet ones, you could actually get some infections. Okay. And now another thing is sitting, laughing, coughing, sneezing. These are going to be so painful somehow in those first days, because your body is so sore. I remember I was so filled with what I felt like I would be dripping. I would be sweating anytime. Like at this time of the day, I would be so sweating. My feet were so swollen. Like they were not so swollen, but then when you pinched on it, you could see that there's some water accumulated underneath the skin. So yeah, most of those things are so uncomfortable immediately. However much they go away with time. So yeah, the body is going to be sore, and a lot of those things are going to be painful. If you can afford those donut seat pillows that you can sit on and release the pressure down, please do them. If you cannot, just avoid visitors who are funny, so you will not have to laugh a lot or cough a lot or sneeze a lot. And yeah, so about the hot flashes and the sweating and everything, you may need more of comfort wear. Yeah, more comfortable wear, maybe night dresses, gowns, or lounge wear. If you cannot have those fancy ones, please stay in your maternity dresses. They are a little bit free. Plus, you still even look pregnant. Yeah, I wanted to also remind you that yes, your baby is out, but you still look pregnant. And nobody should put you under pressure to look the way you looked, because now you are different. You have a child, and then you did not have a child. You cannot look 23 when you're 28. Let it sink. When you're pregnant, there's a way people actually, I was on the internet today and people were talking about these mothers where when you become a mother, you follow most of those pages, so they tend to pop up on my feed. And these mothers were complaining that when you're pregnant, people be like, oh, such a cute bump, oh my god, you look so lovely, this pregnancy has made you look so lovely. Immediately the baby comes out, everyone say, oh my god, your baby is so cute, oh the baby is so this, oh the baby, and everyone's like, they're giving you this look of, you have you forgotten yourself? When are you getting back in shape? Do not succumb to the pressure. We have been there, not again. Do not succumb to the pressure. Give yourself grace, give yourself time, heal, and get back to work. No one loves you more than you do. You love yourself much better or more. So yeah. And another thing is, get as much rest as you can. Get as much rest as you can. If there's someone to help you, please let them. Don't be like me. Day 3, I'm already cooking. And my back was not allowing. I almost collapsed. There's even a time I had to crawl to the bathroom because I am big-headed and I could not let someone else help me. So if you can get enough help, please allow them. Let them help you. And if you're someone who's going to visit a friend who just gave birth, that is all they are going through. Okay, don't just come around and sit around and want to be hosted, want to be the one who is fed, or oh my god, I went to see and she did not even offer me juice. She's already dealing with a lot. Please be a better friend. We can do better. Okay, so that is what actually happens. And always remember to communicate whatever is happening in that time. Anything can take a twist and it may not be reversible. So communicate. If you have a partner, please talk to them more oftenly. Communicate with your midwife or whoever is giving you health, or someone who's there for you. Please communicate as much as possible, because postpartum depression is also one of the worst conditions a mother can be in. I know mothers, I've read books, I've read articles where mothers even throw away their children, they kill their children because they feel unwanted right now. And how do you feel unwanted? If you do not communicate how you feel to your loved ones or whoever is available. If you don't have that one person who is available for you, please try to talk to God. Pray about it every day and tell him everything you're feeling. Yes, he sees it, he knows it, but please communicate efficiently. God, this is what I'm going through, please help me get out of it. So communicate, because depression actually kills. I'll just stop here for now and I'll see you soon in my next video. If you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe, and if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And yeah, Share with your friends who you think would help. I'm just standing so that you guys can see my afro. Yeah. What is the point of living without talking about it? Bye. Peace.